So on our overhead athlete, they frequently lose range of motion, both flexion and internal rotation. So a couple tricks that I like to do with my overhead athletes is to work on subscap, pec minor, and then posterior cuff stretching. So for example, the subscap, I'll pin down, I'll get on an anterior portion of his scapula, hold that down, and I'll use that leverage to get some flexion, passive range of motion. And with him, it's not that bad, that's not his issue. But in our athletes that are tight, they'll get stuck here when I'm holding it down. And so I can use that to try to get a nice stretch in the subscapularis muscle. To work on pec minor stretching, what I'll do is I'll get under the pec major and try to really get in onto the rib cage, and really I'll even do a little cross friction, if we want to call it that. Just kind of find a spot that's tender on the athlete, and I'll hold that down, I'll pin that down, and then I'll work through elevation, passive range of motion. And so again, it's getting under that pec, pin it, find that area that may give a little response in his face. I'm watching his face to see if he kind of twinges a little, to see if he has a response there. Pin it, and then work on overhead elevation. Again, this is a common area that gets tight on our athletes. Everybody's in a forward head, rounded shoulder posture, and it's a good way to work on pec minor lengthening as well.